Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Self-Published Success, a show that highlights forward-thinking self-publishing processes to give you the head start you desire on your authorship journey. My name is John Feldman, founder of Visionary Literary, and in today's episode, I want to talk about the importance of being prepared to sell your book in spontaneous moments, something that is difficult for many introverted authors to do, but there are ways that you can do so. But first, a message from this episode's sponsor, thepowerpitch.co. While we at Self-Published Success only interview authors, there are nearly 4 million other podcasts in existence that crave quality guests. The problem is their desired guests don't pitch them properly because they don't know how. If you are looking to grab the attention of podcast hosts and get booked on the top 2% of shows, you need to stand out. Adrian Moreno, founder of The Power Pitch, developed a proven strategy to get you booked on the top shows in any industry. And it works. Believe me, I know, because I took Adrian's course and it got me booked on shows with tens of thousands of monthly downloads. Adrian's process is guaranteed to get you booked on 52 shows in the next 12 months. Even better, he's offering listeners of Self-Published Success a $200 discount on his innovative process. To get started, go to thepowerpitch.co/visionary. And to get that $200 discount, enter promo code VISIONARY at checkout. Your business, your brand, your book, and your future revenue will thank you. Now back to today's topic. So as authors, we never know when an unexpected chance to promote our book may arise. And like I said at the opening, many authors are introverted. We don't like to sell. And for those who are extroverted, selling might get a little bit stale when we are being sold to nonstop, and we know the downfalls, how brutal it can be to try to get someone to listen to you and to try to listen to other people who, anyone who has LinkedIn knows how often others pop in and try to sell us stuff. So in this episode, I want to discuss practical strategies to ensure that you're ready to seize the moment, the spontaneous moment, when this idea of your book comes up, without being salesy, without pushing it on people. So just being prepared and having natural conversations around your book so that people can know that you are an author and you do have a book out there. The first step is having your elevator pitch. So this is very important. Before you even leave your house, before you put yourself in the situation to discuss your book, you have to have an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is a very concise summary of your book that can be delivered in the time it takes to ride an elevator. That's where the name comes from. So it should capture the essence of your book, highlight its uniqueness, and leave the listener wanting to know more. So it should be very short, a sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences that really gets your idea out there. For a nonfiction author, this should basically be sort of your elevator pitch for your book. I mean, for your business, but in book form, what the book can provide. Practice this elevator pitch. That's the second part of this, and is equally as important as having a good elevator pitch is knowing it and practicing it. So you have to practice it out loud too, not necessarily even in a mirror. Just having conversations with other people so that when someone asks you this question, they're looking you in the eye, and you're trying to think very clearly. The first few times, it's not going to come out very clearly. It might be a little bit confusing, but just keep practicing this. Own your pitch. Make sure that it flows off your tongue, effortlessly, and then it comes out naturally as well, because the natural part is very important. So by doing so, you'll be ready to engage in conversations whenever that opportunity arises, because you will be prepared. After that, once you have your elevator pitch ready, the second thing you can do is to have QR codes ready. So these are so easy and so important to have. It's a simple scan. You can have a business card with a QR code on it. You can have a cell phone case. On the back of your case, you can have the QR code printed on there. There's so many different ways that you can have a QR code ready so that when someone asks you a question, you say your elevator pitch and they say, "Ooh, I like that." You can have a QR code that directs them exactly where you want them to go, whether that's your Amazon store to buy the KDP the Kindle version, or if it's to your website so they can buy the physical version. Wherever you want them to go, make sure that QR code lands them directly on the page where they can pay or as close to payment as possible, because the more clicks between I want to buy that book and actually buying that book, the more clicks that you put in between there, the less chance you have of actually making that sale. So number two, after having your elevator pitch, have a QR code. It not only showcases that you are an author, but it shows that you're professional about your authorship journey, that this happens often as well. So it doesn't seem like your book is something nobody reads. If you have a QR code ready and you just show it to this prospective reader right away, it seems, in their eyes, as if this is a common occurrence and that many people want to read your book. Number three is to carry marketing materials. So the QR code can be on those materials. You can have business cards, or maybe for books, do a bookmark. A bookmark with the QR code on it is great. You can just hand it right to the prospective reader. There are many different things. Canva, Vistaprint have so many different options for marketing materials. You can get them relatively cheap, but you should have, at the very least, a mock-up image of the book, not necessarily just the JPEG file that you would use for the ebook cover, but go to DIYbookcovers.com and create a nice mock-up image. That's a free site. Create a free mock-up image to make it look like it's a real tangible book, even if you only have a ebook version available online. You can also, number four is to bring physical copies. So this is a little bit more money out of pocket, and can be a little bit more belaboring on the shoulders and the back if you're walking around city streets all day with 10, 15 copies of your book inside of a briefcase or backpack or purse. But you can carry a few physical copies with you. And for the event that one or two people approach you or start talking to you, start having conversations in a coffee shop or in an elevator, you can have a book and you can just hand them that book. It might be a little bit awkward if you try to charge them for the book at that point. My opinion would be just give it to them for free. People like free things, and they're more likely to have a positive mindset going into reading the book since you gave it to them for free, and they'll hopefully try to pay it forward by telling their friends, family, colleagues about the book. If you hand them a book and then say that'll be $20, they might have a little bit of they might say no first off, which would make things awkward, but they might not come into reading the book in such a optimistic state. So number four is you can carry physical copies of the book. Number five kind of goes off of what I was just saying with charging people, but you can have Square or PayPal or Stripe link, something ready for the event that you have multiple people. So this might be something that's better for if you're going to a conference or an industry event and you foresee yourself selling some books. You should have a simple way, digital way to collect payments. One-on-one in the elevator, handing them a physical book, probably give it to them for free. But if you're going to an event where, again, you see yourself selling a few books, you should bring a digital, simple way to make mobile payments for your prospective reader. And then finally, this is your whole day. You remember your elevator pitch before you leave your house. And the next four things are, if you're out and about, what you can do, how you can be ready for those conversations. The last thing, number six here, is to have an active social media account or an active website with a blog, somewhere where you are active, to where if a prospective reader goes home and they start to look you up and see what your experience is, look into more things about you. So this is something that's very common. A lot of people do online research before they make a large purchase. They do a lot of online research. Heck, people do it anyway. They go home and if they meet someone, they go home and look them up on Facebook or Snapchat and then send them a friend request. So being active, just giving people a little bit more of a glimpse into who you are, why you wrote the book, why they should read it, and what they can gain is something that is very important, and it's something that you can do on a more passive level. It doesn't have to be that face-to-face conversation. It can give some and give someone a reason to follow you if you are active on your channels and you're producing good content. So being prepared for these events, there's so much talk about how to sell your book on social media, how to sell your book with Amazon ads, and we talk about this all the time too. But when it comes to that face-to-face conversation, a lot of times when a prospective reader starts talking to you, you're not prepared. You're like a deer in headlights, and I've been there many, many times. But you're like a deer in headlights because you don't have that elevator pitch ready. You don't have QR codes ready. You're scrambling, and to that prospective reader, that doesn't look good. It looks like this is the first time anyone has ever asked you about your book or to buy your book. If it's the opposite, if you are prepared, you're short, you're witty, you know your stuff, and you have your QR codes and your payment things ready, it'll be a different result. You'll have so much more confidence going into future conversations that end this way, and it can be best for your authorship career. So create your elevator pitch, have QR codes and marketing materials ready, carry physical copies of your book, have mobile payment solution methods, and maintain an active social media presence. And by doing so, you'll be ready to seize the day and become a self-published success. As always, thank you for listening. If you found this episode valuable, please leave a review. Every podcast asks for this, and it can get very exhausting trying to support every podcast you love or every one of our episodes where we ask you the same question. But we're on a mission, and we are trying to help as many authors as we can, and we can't do it alone. If you are one of those aspiring authors, don't forget to utilize the free roadmap we have created for you, the aspiring author, to find success on your authorship journey. Go to visionaryliterary.com/free book or /free resources, either one of those, and get started today. As always, thank you again for listening. We'll see you on Friday.